Hello, everyone, and welcome to the review of the FA Cup final, Arsenal against Chelsea. It's myself, Mike Heineman, of course, joined with the lovely Giggsy as well. How you doing, sweet? You okay?
Doing good. You?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. Just got quite a lot of stuff to get into with this final. It was a very, full-on game, wasn't it? There was a lot of action, lots of things happening, and it kind of, I was commentating on the game, as you know, with RS Media and Ryan. But it kind of, the fact there was so much action in the game, kind of, it was like there was a crowd there. You kind of weren't paying attention to the fact there was no fans there.
Honestly, with the last couple of games, it's kind of like getting used to it.
Yeah.
Kind of, if you get it. You miss the fans and the crowd cheering and stuff, but you're kind of getting used to it. So I'm just so focused in the game. I kind of just...
Yeah, you don't pay any attention to anything else. That's right. It's the same with me now. Hi, Russ. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Doing good. Thank you. How are you? And
Hey,
also,
Russ.
we've got Ryan in the studio as well. He's sat there watching. So how you doing, mate? You okay? Put a little message in there as well and just say hello. But yeah, we've got a lot to get through. So we'll start with the lineups for the two teams. There was one change from the Arsenal game that was the week before against Watford, where Arsenal won that 3-2. And the lineup was Martinez kept his place in goal, Holding, David Luiz, Tierney, Bellerin, Ceballos, Xhaka, Maitland-Niles, Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. So Bellerin was the one change who came in for Willock. And Willock dropped to the bench, and he was alongside Socrates, Serrero, Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Kolasinac, Smith, Saka, and Macy, wasn't he? So, that was... what did you make of the lineup?
I liked it, because I just felt like they used strong people, and you know me, once a boo-boo's in it, I'm fine. Like, I know this is gonna be good.
Yeah. And it was like, we'll get into that in a little while when we'll talk about him and the impact he's had on that game. But the Chelsea lineup there: Cavallero, Azpilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger, James, Jorginho, Kovacic, Alonso, Mount, Pulisic, and of course former Arsenal man Olivier Giroud was in there as well. So it was always written that he was going to have an impact in the game in some way, wasn't it?
I didn't really know much about him, but I'm going to save my comments for when we do talk about him later on in the game.
Yeah.
Because that was just funny what happened. So I'm just saying.
All right. Hi, Bernie. How you doing? So we'll get into it really, and straight away Arsenal had a chance after I think it was about 2 minutes, and it was Maitland-Niles' cross down the left hand side, and Aubameyang headed that one wide.
Close.
It was close, wasn't it? Yeah. That was the first chance of the game, and it was good work by Maitland-Niles down the left hand side as well to set him up.
He's been doing good, like getting opportunities and doing his crosses are good. He's been getting better.
Yeah, he's looked really good, especially when he's played on the left-hand side there at left back. It's not a natural position for him, but he's more than capable of filling in and doing a job there, as he did in the semi-final as well as the game this weekend. The final as well. He's been solid in both. He is more than capable of doing a job on that left-hand side. He can play as a right back cover as well. He can play sort of defensive midfield. So he's becoming a very versatile player for Arsenal when under Mikel Arteta, isn't he?
Definitely, I agree. Like, they're giving him more opportunities and he's rising to the occasion. So I agree with you on that.
How you doing, Chris? You all right, mate? So, we'll get into the next bit of the action. And it was a little bit of action that wasn't actually good for Arsenal because it was when Chelsea took the lead. And it was Christian Pulisic, the American, who scored the goal. It was a nice bit of play by Chelsea, actually. But I thought, Granit Xhaka and the Denis Ceballos and the Arsenal midfield there kind of stood off them a little bit and made it look a little bit easy for Chelsea to get through there. Don't take anything away from the goal. The goal was fantastic, but I just think the Arsenal midfield there were, passengers, weren't they?
No, definitely. Like, they let that go through. And, you give people opportunities, they're going to go for it. So Chelsea's one of them that's going to go for it.
That's right. Did you know much about Pulisic? Did you know he's American?
Go figure. An American, so you can have that animosity towards me.
No animosity at all, not at all. So yeah, that was early on. After 5 minutes, they went 1-0 up, and then they kind of got a bit of a foothold in the game. Emi Martinez made a couple of decent saves as well, and I do want to talk about Emi and how well he's been performing in the last few weeks, and all the way through the FA Cup actually.
He makes me emotional.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a bit once we actually go into the celebrations and everything that happened at the end. But Martinez made a couple of really good saves and crucial, important saves as well.
He did. I want to also agree with one of the statements you said in your commentary with Riot, that you saw that Arsenal was playing nervous in the beginning. I saw that 100%. They were, because they knew how much was depending on this. So they were nervous, and you could tell in the beginning. That's why they conceded that first goal. They were nervous. And then I feel like once that goal was conceded, they woke up, like, knew we need to get our crap together. I didn't want to curse.
Yeah. No, not at all. That's fine. But absolutely, because the final last season, the Europa League final, Arsenal went 1-0 down then, and then they just capitulated. They were 2-3-0 down within 20 minutes, I think it was, or 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And they just fell apart. So, there was a lot of Arsenal fans that were saying after Chelsea went 1-0 up, it could well be the same again. But this is a different Arsenal side now. It's Arteta's got them playing a lot more freely. He's got them fighting for the badge, and that kind of shone through in the end. Definitely.
You saw that fight. Like, before, Arsenal would just, once they conceded a goal, they would just give up, and you won't see them fight back. Now you see them fight back, like, oh, no, this ain't happening. And you see Arteta on the side screaming. He is so freaking passionate. Like, when they conceded, he's on there. He's jumping up and down like a monkey, like, go,
I like that little analogy there, jumping up and down like a monkey. We should use that more often. But no, I like that. And, it was, as you said, really just there. The goal kind of woke Arsenal up, and Arsenal looked a bit brighter. After the Pulisic goal for Chelsea, and it kind of, I thought the goal for Arsenal was coming a little bit quicker than it did, and it was a penalty, of course, from Aubameyang as well. He was brought down originally outside the box, but he had the kind of sort of nous and know-how to wait until he was in the area to actually fall over, and then the referees pointed to the spot and given a penalty. So that was clever from Aubameyang, I think.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And it was a lovely penalty as well when he took it. What I will say is last season when we played Spurs, obviously Spurs have just moved into their new stadium this year, but last season they were playing at White Hart Lane. At Wembley rather than at White Hart Lane, I should say, or the new stadium now, whatever they've called the new stadium. I don't know if it's actually called New White Hart Lane or whatever yet, but that goal that Aubameyang scored, that penalty that he scored against Chelsea in the final there, was in exactly the same goal that he missed the penalty against Spurs last season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's going to be going through his mind. He's going to be nervous, and that was a cool penalty. It just sent the goal in the complete wrong way, and he's got to be nervous. He's already missed a penalty there last season, and it's a big game. It's a chance to get into Europe.
He had a lot on his mind, 100%. A lot on his mind. So the fact that he got it was like, yes.
And he won the penalty himself, scored the penalty, and there you go. It was a lovely bit of play there from Aubameyang to actually win the penalty as well. And then, the second half, the second half of the first half, I should say, was, I thought, more Arsenal. Arsenal had a lot more chances, and there was a couple of opportunities, and it was down to Azpilicueta that actually made the foul. By the way, when the Gabon striker there for Arsenal, Aubameyang, put away the penalty, but this is kind of where it started to fall apart for Chelsea a bit, because they had the injuries to Azpilicueta and to Pulisic as well, just before half time. Azpilicueta just before half time, I should say, and Pulisic just after. So, that's 2 injuries in quick succession for Chelsea, and Pulisic is a big player for them as well.
No, I agree. Yeah, it was madness how like they were just hurting themselves, and it was all like the same injury. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. That's right, and it was from then on really. I think was it just after that Pepe had the chance as well, where he put the ball into the back of the net, but it was given as offside.
Yes.
Was that? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting a call from my dad. I'll be right back. Like literally, he's yelling my name.
All right. And what I will say is that was what I will say is that was a lovely goal as well. The fact he's offside and all of that doesn't actually take away the fact that it was a really well taken finish, really good goal. And I thought it was lovely from Pepe to cut inside there and to actually be able to fire the ball into the back of the net, past Caballero, who didn't even move, and the goal was lovely. It was class Pepe, that really. And as Chris said there, I'll put this one on screen because that's a good point. Excuse me. Pulisic was causing Arsenal loads of issues. Luckily, he went off, then Arsenal switched to the second gear. Yeah, I think that's probably true because Pulisic obviously started the game really brightly and really well, and then it was fortunate for Arsenal that he went off so early in the second half, and he was their main sort of creative threat really. Giroud had a fairly quiet game. He got the assist for the goal, of course, with that lovely Giroud flick that he always seems to do. But apart from that, he didn't really do an awful lot. And apart from those two, I didn't really think there was many other Chelsea players that had opportunities to actually, get them into the game and to win the game after it went to 1-1. So what I will say is it was a very good fight back from Arsenal, and I'm just looking through some of the photos of the game and stuff now, and Aubameyang is the kind of player that Arsenal have to sign. He's the kind of player that needs a new contract desperately because he's been the reason we've won the semi-final. He was the reason we won the final, and sorry, I'll read that in a minute, Bernie. I'm trying to do this thing here on my own at the minute. Well, Giggs is away as well, but I'll read that in a minute and answer that in a bit. But Aubameyang is the kind of player that we have to sign at all costs. He's won us the semi-final and the final now, so yeah, he's just needs to sign a new contract, and we have to keep him for as long as we can, probably till 3 or 4 seasons, and then he can go on and be huge for Arsenal. I'll just go to that comment. I know this was I don't know whether this was a little bit after that, was it? Do you think Martinez handball out of the area was a red card? It's a matter of angles. I think it's. I'll answer that in a minute. So, you're right. You're back now. Hello?
I am so sorry.
That's all right. So, this is a question from Bernie there. Do you think that Martinez's handball was out of the area? Did you think he was a little bit fortunate to get away with that one? Because I think it depended on the angle. I think some angles I've seen it since, it looks like it was actually outside the box. But at the time, I kind of thought that the momentum carried the ball into the area.
I think it was like borderline. Like literally, he was in like the edge of the area and he just swiped. I think it was just borderline.
That's right. Yeah, I think Chelsea can look at that as maybe a chance of something where they could have actually got something out of that, and maybe I think a red card would have been harsh anyway. But it's like the Azpilicueta thing for the penalty. I think people were saying Azpilicueta could have easily been sent off, but for the double jeopardy thing, you can't do that. And it's I'm not too sure with the Martinez handball. I think at the very most it would have been a free kick to Chelsea. I don't think the referee would have given him a red card. He might give him a yellow, but I doubt it would have been a red.
I think we'd be screwed if he got a red. We don't have anybody else.
We do. We've got the young goalie, but yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And then who's this now? Chris has said he caused us problems at Anfield game before too. Ended 5-3, came on and was 3-0 and scored 2. Yeah, that's Pulisic, wasn't it? Yeah. That's right. I remember he looked really good, didn't he, in that game? Because me and Rye did a commentary of that one as well. Excuse me. And then, Rye's thoughts. He thought that it was outside the area. And upon seeing the replays and things like that, it's kind of, easy to, not disagree. Easy to agree with that rather than disagree with that, because from the replays I've seen, it does look like it could have actually been just outside the area, but I do think it would have been harsh to give him a red. So where were we up to? We were up to just after half time when Pulisic got injured, and of course, that changed the game, I think. And Arsenal, we were able to go on and get that second goal through Aubameyang again, and I thought that was a lovely bit of play. I thought Bellerin was class. Bellerin on that opportunity there to run through and to cut inside from right back. And I know he lost the ball in the end, but the ball fell lovely and perfectly to Nicola Pepe. He put the delightful ball across. Aubameyang was able to take it round his man and then just literally, dink it over the goalie. It was a lovely goal. It really was.
I love what he said afterwards about that particular goal, saying that he knew that that player that was covered, I don't remember his name, knew that he's a right-footed player. So
Seymour, like, I think. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to use my left. Flick it, and it worked. He was just like, I'm just going to use my left.
Yeah, the player who took it around, I think it was either Rudiger or Seymour. I can't remember which one went off and which one stayed on, but the one that stayed on, I can't remember if it was Seymour, it might have been. And there you go. There's not really an awful lot to talk about in terms of shots on goal and stuff, because both teams only had 3 shots on goal anyway.
Basically, this game was just full of injuries. It was just full of injuries, really, and that was what took up most of the time.
Mm-hmm. There was Arsenal had 11 shots to Chelsea's 9, but there was 3 shots on target for each team, so it was very there wasn't really an awful lot that happened in terms of chances on goal. It was, of course, after that was when it all kind of turned for Chelsea, really, because they're 2-1 down, and that was that when there was the little scrap after that, a little while after that, when Arteta ended up getting a yellow card.
There was something going on between Laka and another player, and Arteta jumped in, kind of yelling and being Papa Bear.
That's right, because there was a few. I think Rudiger got a booking, and Kovacic got a second yellow, which saw him get sent off as well. And Dani Ceballos got a booking as well, and I think Arteta actually got booked in that instance as well. I think it was when there was all of the yellow cards being handed out. I remember seeing that on the screen and seeing that Arteta got a yellow card too. Yeah,
that's how you know he passionate. He got a yellow. I don't have a yellow card, so I can't flash anything.
No, and that's Bryce said it on stream at the time. That's the first manager to get a yellow card as well in a cup final like that. Or at least I think maybe the first might even be the first Premier League manager to get a yellow card altogether. But anyway, then Chelsea. Yeah, absolutely. Chelsea had to really fight after that with 10 men, and that's when they chucked on 3 subs. They brought on Tammy Abraham for Giroud, Ross Barkley for Mason Mount, and Callum Hudson-Odoi for Rudiger.
Did you talk about the Giroud fall?
The Giroud
fall.
No.
Basically, it's all over Twitter how David Luiz was behind him and he headed the ball, and Giroud just went like he touched him, but he didn't touch him. He just went forward.
Oh, is that when the physio come on and started rubbing his backside? Was that when that was?
Yep. Yeah,
I thought it was. That was a really interesting bit of play there. I thought that was funny from Giroud. And David Luiz, of course, 2 players that both won the FA Cup for the previous team that they played for in this final, and same with Arteta and Lampard as well. They both won it as players, and it was quite quite interesting to see that little battle between David Luiz and Giroud. I thought it was a really good battle when I thought Luiz handled Giroud really, really well. Yeah, Giroud got the assist for the Chelsea goal that Pulisic put away. But apart from that, I thought Luiz was the better of the two. I thought he, handled him pretty well.
He did good. Like, he behaved himself, and that's a feat in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then what I was getting at here, sorry. Tammy Abraham came on for Giroud after 78 minutes. Ross Barkley for Mount and Hudson-Odoi for Rudiger. So Chelsea were really going for it then. And then Arsenal brought a couple of subs on after that. Eddie Nketiah got a run out coming on for Alex Lacazette. And Socrates come on for David Luiz. And, the David Luiz one in particular, I thought was really, really a sign of how well David Luiz had played. He literally run himself into the ground. He was all over the place and defending really well. He was getting blocks in left, right and centre and defending with his life. And, he was
didn't want to
solid.
get off the pitch.
He was solid to the point where he actually had to go off injured because he had given so much. He's given like 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, he even told Papa, he was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go. And then they're like, no, get off.
That's right. I remember that. I saw that at first. I was like, is he going to get on or not? And then David Luiz went back on again for a second until the ball went out of play. I think that was kind of a little bit of coy and a little bit of time wasting from Arsenal there, just to kind of see the game out. Not that, at that point we were anywhere near the end, because by the end we had an extra 15 minutes at this point. Although we were in the 88th minute here, we still had another 15 minutes of play, or might even been a little bit more than that, 16 minutes of play by that point, because of Chelsea's third injury as well, which was the Pedro one, who had only been on the pitch. I think he'd been on the pitch for about 40 minutes or so, maybe a bit less than that.
Something like that.
35 minutes or whatever, and then he went off. And that's they're the final really nail in the coffin for Chelsea, I thought, because that was them down to 9 men, and there wasn't really an awful lot of chance for them to get back in the game. Arsenal started messing about with it, time waiting and everything like that at that point. But what I will say is that's what you've got to do. You've kind of got to see the game out as much as you can when you're 2-1 up, and in a big final like that, you kind of have to time waste and just take your time over things.
And I also agree with what Chris said before, that when the American fell injured, Chelsea's hopes just went.
Pulisic, yeah. And I think that was really, really good for the final overall. Other than the last part of the game where Kolasinac come on for Tierney, that was it really. There was nothing else that happened. And apart from those 5 minutes at the start, really, then Arsenal really got into it, and I thought deserved the win. I thought we were the better team. I thought people can complain about the referee for Chelsea and the fact he sent off Kovacic and didn't do anything with Martinez there, and the fact they had all their bad luck with the injuries and everything. They can complain about the referee for that, but I just think that yes, they're unlucky losing Pulisic, and the fact he's one of their key players, but at the same time, this is Arsenal. We win finals like this. We win at Wembley, and it didn't surprise me that we beat Chelsea. I said it at, just before the semi-final. In fact, when we drew Man City, how ironic would it be if we beat them and then beat Chelsea in the final and kind of just repeated 2017 all over again? And there we are. It's exactly what happened.
You said a lot of things that came true, like number 14, bringing in number 14.
Yeah, said that as well. That's true. Yeah. I could just see that coming. And the day before, I was watching an old video of when Arsenal played Wigan at the final game at Highbury, the old stadium, and Thierry Henry scored a brace in that game. He scored a double in that game, and he was number 14 at the time as well. So it was all set. It literally that weekend was number 14, just set all the way through the weekend, because the Friday I watched that, and that was number 14. And then number 14, Aubameyang, scores the winner to give us the 14th final. So it's and then of course to cap it all off, they go out and they put on the shirt saying always 14 as well. So there you go.
I'm biased, so that's my number. So, just saying.
That's right, and that's what I said at the time as well. When the referee put up 7 minutes originally at the end of the half, I was like, oh, okay, 7 minutes seven's my lucky number. So let's have nothing happen, And luckily for us, nothing really did happen. Yeah, Chelsea had the injury, and that's why we had an extra. I think it was an extra 7 minutes virtually of injury time as well. On top of that, but still an extra 7 minutes didn't see Chelsea do anything. So what's good is we were able to hold on and get the final over the line and bring that back. The number 14 of the FA Cup, of course, and so let's get into the celebrations now. And of course, Aubameyang is the one who's going to take all the plaudits, of course, for what he done in terms of getting the goals. But he might be in the papers for another reason as well. The fact that he tried to lift up the cup and it still had its base on, and he literally tried to carry it over to the opposite to the other players there, I should say. And he literally just drops it in front of him, and that was kind of a bit of a funny moment as well. Yeah.
That was so funny. Oh my gosh, he was so cute. He was just like, it's broken.
Yeah, she's in America, Chris. Yeah. What was funny about that is, you've posted it since, but all the reactions of the other players and your little captions of it, they fit perfectly.
Why men do this? Why men do this?
They really did fit perfectly. It was really, really good and well thought out. So, that was lovely to see Arsenal lift another trophy there, lift an FA Cup on the back of this season. And the fact this season was so, just so terrible, really, up until Arteta kind of come in and changed everything. And, he's got players fighting for the shirt, players that under Emery weren't performing at all. The likes of Granit Xhaka, the likes of Mustafi, the likes of David Luiz has looked better under Arteta as well. But I'll start with the first one I mentioned there, Granit Xhaka. How good has he been since the restart and since Arteta came in and everything like that? He is, he's kind of taken on board what Arteta said. And unlike Guendouzi, who, of course, is completely out of the forefront altogether now, he has actually come in and he has really made a big difference under Arteta, and he's looked a much, much better player.
No, definitely. He's done a whole 180. Like, he's so much better now. And you can tell he's like captain, like he lost his captain title, but he's still captain. I can't speak. I'm sorry.
Nor can I today. Yeah. I think I'm still a bit hyper from the weekend. But no, I think Granit Xhaka has done excellent since he's been dropped from being captain. And rightly so. I thought at the time as well to have him dropped from captain after what he did. And it was a good choice, I think, to put Aubameyang in as well. And he's obviously another key player for us this season, who I've mentioned already a number of times. And he just has to sign a new contract now. I know he's obviously gone away and he's going to have a bit of downtime to think things over and whatever else. But we cannot afford to let this player leave.
Hell no.
And then, of course, Alex Lacazette as well. We didn't really touch on Lacazette. He didn't really do an awful lot in this game. He was kind of a bit of a passenger up front. And, when Aubameyang's doing everything that he's done, he's got himself 2 goals and won the penalty and stuff. The fact that Lacazette didn't really do anything was another good reason for Aubameyang to step in and to step up, because we need our big game players, I should say, to actually get us to win these finals. And if Lacazette's not going to perform or show up, then at least Aubameyang's done that, and Aubameyang's actually got us over the line and kind of done the work of both of them, I think, in this game.
No, it's true. He was the fighter. 100% was the fighter.
So that's pretty much the game covered. It's been a really rushed podcast today, and I don't really think it's been that good. I think I've been stumbling over my words a lot and stuff. But
It's also been a late start, and you have your other interview on your head, so it's a lot of things.
Yeah, true. The other interview's in about under an hour now, and it's difficult when you're starting it late and everything, and it's only our second one. So we'll quickly whiz through some player ratings for Arsenal. We won't worry about Chelsea players or anything like that, unless you want to rate Giroud and the fact he was sulking at the end. I'll give him a 10 just for that. So Martinez in goal, I thought he'd done really well. He was assured, he was solid. He had little chance, if not no chance, with the goal. Made a few really good saves as well. And I think, yeah, he's more than capable of challenging with Leno for a number one spot next season when Leno's back. What I will say is what was also good about when all the players came in and we're all celebrating and stuff. Leno was there, Cedric was there, Mustafi was there, Chambers was there, and Martinelli were there, who are like all injured at the moment.
I know, I saw them with the crutches. It was so cute.
Yeah. Ozil wasn't even in the country. He's out in Turkey. The club have given him opportunity to go out there for an extended holiday, I guess it is. Hopefully to find a new club out there as well and get him off the books and get rid of these, 350 grand that we give him every week because he's absolutely dead wood. We have to get him out. And Guendouzi wasn't there either because he is also in the bad book still and he's currently training with a youth team. Saliba was there as well. That's what I like to see when Saliba, who just signed for the club, he's going to be playing next season. He was in the dressing room with the players as well, and I like seeing him in there, and that was a nice touch as well to get him involved.
Yeah, I like that they were winding him up.
So Martinez, I could give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9. Why not?
100% 9. 9.5.
Really? You're going to go that high? What's Aubameyang going to get? A 20?
25. Oh, he's going to get 14.
Fair enough. Rob Holding, of course, done a fantastic job at centre-back as well. He was caught out a bit at the start and he recovered well after that. He did make a few interceptions and defensive blocks and things like that, and he was able to get, I think he got torn apart by Pedro at one point when Pedro had come on and Pedro just taking it around him and that, but he was able to recover really well and get that one behind for a corner. And I thought, no nonsense from Rob Holding again. I'm going to give him an 8.
I agree with that. He did good.
We've got David Luiz, and we got the right version of David Luiz. Not David Luiz was involved in the game against Watford last week, giving away the penalty and messing up for their other goal, the Welbeck goal and stuff as well. We got the version of David Luiz that was there against Man City really, and he can have a 9 as well.
No, he did a lot of work. He was working it.
So what rating do you get?
I'm gonna give him a 9 because you know what, he tamed himself, and that's a job in itself, taming himself. So I'm gonna give you a 9 for that.
I think that was a good point. Hi, Charlotte. With Kieran Tierney, I think Kieran Tierney again. He's fitting in at centre back in this game, unnatural position for him, and I think he caused a few problems as well with some long balls over the Chelsea midfield and to get them out wide to the likes of Aubameyang and Pepe. And I think Tierney did a really good job as well. He doesn't quite get into the 9 bracket for me. He can have an 8.
No, I agree. Like he was more noticeable in other matches, but he still worked well. So like 7.5, 8.
All right. Hector Bellerin, of course, he has only just come back from another injury. From missing the last game, was excellent in the build up to the goal. The Aubameyang goal was run, cutting inside there and getting the ball out to Pepe, and then Aubameyang was there to do the rest. For that alone, I think Hector can have a 9 just for that assist, I think, and pre-assist as they call it these days.
That's a shock because usually you give him like a 4.
No, he was good. He can have a 9.
He was good. I would say 8.
All right. Danny Ceballos, another excellent performance. This, if we're going to sign Aubameyang, we've got to sign this guy as well. He's only on a loan at the moment, but this guy has been fantastic alongside Granit Xhaka. He's the linchpin of the midfield. His class. He is, always looking to get the ball moving forward. He's always looking to start an attack. I love this guy. We have to sign him.
He's a fighter.
9.
He's a little firecracker.
Yeah, love this guy. He can have a 9 as well.
I say 9 too.
Granit Xhaka. He did kind of get caught out a few times, Xhaka. And what I will say is he actually done well to recover from that, though, as well. I think he was all right. I don't think he was fantastic. I don't think he was anywhere near the likes of Ceballos or some others that we'll get into. But he can have a 7 for me. I think he was, as I said before, he was solid. Yes, he's done really, really well under Arteta, and that's a credit to him to come out and to actually prove a point and to prove, his worth to the team. But I do think Denis Ceballos was the better of the players in that position. And he's had better games for Arsenal recently as well, where I've given him higher scores. So I'm going to give him a 7 for this one at the weekend.
I give him a 7.5.
All right. Actually, I've just noticed there. In fact, he actually did really well defensively a couple of times. He made an important block from Ross Barkley in stoppage time when that could have actually, if that fell to him, that he could have had a shot at Martinez there, and that could have had another opportunity for Chelsea where they could have actually maybe got a goal from that. So I'm going to up it to an 8, I think, for the fact he did work hard defensively and he was able to get himself about. Yeah, so I'm going to up that to an 8 rather than the 7. In fact, I gave him originally. Maitland-Niles, I think this guy was fantastic. This guy,
good.
he was impressive against Man City in the semi-final. He's playing out of position. He's a constant threat down the left-hand side. I'm going to give him a 9. He was fantastic, really, really good.
No, I agree with that. Another one that worked his butt off, 100%.
Yeah. And then we've got Nicolas Pepe. Again, during the first half, he looked really, really good. He drew some fouls from the Chelsea players. He got the assist for the goal for Aubameyang as well. He looked really, really good. The goal he scored as well, fantastically taken. And I think, if that was to stand, that would have been up there with one of the best goals of the FA Cup this season, if not the best. And of course, he was, offside. It wasn't him that was offside, actually. I think it was Maitland-Niles or Lacazette. But either way, it was a really well-taken goal. And I think Pepe was great. Pepe was causing a hell of a lot of problems down that side. He can have a 9 as well.
Let's give all of them 9s. They won. They all get 9s.
I'm being fair. No. I'm trying to do this as fair and as biased as possible, as unbiased, as possible.
I would give him a 9. I just love him. He's so good and he's so fast. Oh my gosh, I just want to pinch his cheeks.
Lacazette didn't have much joy in front of goal. He did have a couple of chances from free kick. He put one wide, quite a long way wide, in fact, actually, if I remember rightly. But he's always tirelessly involved. He always works hard and stuff like that. So I'll give him a 7 for that. I think he did well without really getting much opportunity and to actually get the end product and chances at goal and things like that. He had a few, but not an awful lot compared to what he's had in other games. So yeah, he can have a 7.
I agree to a point. Yeah, he didn't have many opportunities, but he was still part of the unit that got the opportunities for us. So 7.5.
All right. I don't really do I'm not doing 0.5s, as you can see. And then the man that is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, sign the thing, sign it now. And I could give him anything. I think Arsenal should give him anything. So I think I'm going to give him anything. He gets a 20 out of 10.
You're going to give him a 20. I'm going to give him a 25.
He was just class. He was brilliant. He missed that one chance early on after 2 minutes, but he was able to fight back and to actually, not let that
let him down and then put him.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
Fought back for it.
Yeah, no, he did well, and he done well to get the penalty and to score that, and then the other goal as well, the winning goal. He was brilliant. So yeah, he doesn't get a 20 really. He gets a 10 all day long. And yeah, give him what he wants. Give him a car, give him a house, give him another car, give him another house, give him a mansion, give him a extra swimming pool, give him the FA Cup to take home and leave at his house, give him the Emirates Stadium, give him the training ground, give him everybody's medal.
Again.
Give him everybody's medal, because it doesn't look like he's actually going to get one himself, because that was a bit harsh. All the other players took the medal and then he didn't have one. So give him everyone's medal. If that, I literally, and then you can give him like 900 grand on top.
Wow.
A week. And then if that's not going to get him to sign, then yeah.
He just needs to sign the thing. Just sign it.
Yeah. He gets a 10 out of 10 all day long. Eddie, come on. Looks all right, actually. Provided fresh legs. And yeah, he looks okay. Can't really give him too high a score. I'm going to give him a 6. Socrates, come on as well, which I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, what would you give Eddie? I'm going to give him a 6. Like, he didn't really get an awful lot of time.
He didn't really do anything. Like, I can't really rate that. He didn't really.
So standard 5s or 6. It's like 5 or 6 then, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Socrates again, standard 6 for me. Come on and replace Luiz. Didn't let in a goal in that time, so yeah, 6 for him. And Kolasinac, I'm on with about 3-4 seconds to go, didn't he? You don't even know if he touched the ball. He can get a 5.
I literally don't think he touched the ball. He was in, and then it was done.
Yeah, I don't even think he touched the ball. And then the referee can have a 10. The referee was class. I thought the referee really helped us out in that game. So yeah, thanks, Anthony Taylor. It was nice to have. I
didn't think we rated referees.
He can have a 10 this time. Who else should we rate? Should we rate the Chelsea physio, because they've had a lot of work to do during this game?
So messed up.
In the Chelsea physio, it looked like all the players were still there come the end, and they had crutches and whatever. So I think they obviously did a good job, so they can have a 9. But no, we have to rate the manager. We haven't done Arteta yet. 10. 10.
The passion alone, 10.
The fact you got a yellow card, 10.
No, if you got for getting the yellow card, he gets an 11.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the FA Cup final. Another one for Arsenal. Another one at our second home. The Emirates FA Cup. Let's get that out there. The Emirates FA Cup is called the Emirates FA Cup for a reason, because it's back at the Emirates where it belongs. And 14 times. And I'm just going to try and stop myself from laughing, but I kind of can't help it. Spurs have to go through the qualifiers of the Europa League. Spurs have to go through the qualifiers. They've got 3 qualifying rounds to go through before, and we go straight into the group stages because we won the cup.
Just saying, I'm not being petty at all. Just,
That was funny. That did make me laugh. I think we'll wrap things up in a minute, I think. So this is the second one of the podcast. We will be back for the Community Shield next, which is in, I think, about 4 weeks' time, when we play the league winners, Liverpool. We'll do one of that. So, you won't be seeing us for a couple of weeks' time now because of the season being over. And of course, thank you to everyone that's listened. You can use these 4 weeks to give us a like on our social media if you like. We're available on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. If you type in Worldwide Gooner Elite on all of them, you'll find it. Give us a little cheeky like, cheeky subscribe, and a cheeky little follow and everything like that. And we will catch up with you when we play Liverpool next time in about a month's time now. And of course, all that's left to say is thank you to lovely Giggsy for being here and for joining in again. Thank you to everyone that's been in the chat, Bernie, Russ, Rye, and everybody else as well. And we shall be back in about a month's time. So thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other as well. And I shall see you very soon. If you're going to come and listen to my interview that I'm going to do with Carl Alford, the ex-Danish player, in around about 40 minutes time. So come and check that one out. But yeah, thanks for listening. And London is red. See you later.
Bye.